Hi Robin, I'm going to show you the If I Lived 130 Years Ago book in video form because we don't have it all in one document that I can send to you. So I'm just going to flip through it and kind of show you what we talked about in it. It's based on another picture book, If I Lived 100 Years Ago, that was written in the 90s. So we kind of updated it to make it more in line with Vermont and make it more relatable with the history of Burlington and the history of our building. And I was able to do original illustrations and design using photos that we have in our archives, but also using our design software. But it's kid-friendly and kind of talks about, today we have like computers and planes, and think about, what was it like when we didn't have those, and going back in time to like talk about different conditions, like living conditions. So, people living in tenement housing back then, kind of, them being very crowded, having to, not have a lot of space. Also, tenement housing in Burlington, and what that looked like. When people also who were low income, who weren't living in tenement housings, sort of the poor house system and what happened to kids if they were experiencing homelessness. What did people eat? Things were a lot different back then, especially for people who were poor because they didn't have as much. What did people do for work, both men and women? And also a little bit of discussion about children working because they had to work in factories to support families. And a little bit about schooling, but also kind of going into, when did things get better? Why did they get better? How did that happen? How did housing improve? What were the laws that put that in place? A little bit about COTS and the services that we have if people are experiencing homelessness today. Laws and regulations that were put in place to improve nutrition. Labor and safety laws that improve conditions for folks working, and also schooling, so kids did not have to work in factories, and abolishment of child labor and things like that. And then sort of a discussion page for people to talk about some of the stuff that they learned. So that is the book. Thank you.